Okay, hello everybody. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Instagram, and we are going to be discussing, I'm going to be answering your questions, I should say, around anything and everything that is getting in your way creatively. So if you have any questions around creativity, around comedy, any problems that you're facing, anything that you feel is holding you back, I'm here to answer some questions. So we're going to wait for some people to come onto the live, and I am going to get answering. I do have some questions that you guys have sent me already that I will be answering as well. So I will go into those questions also. Let me just find them because they are somewhere here. Hold on. So let's just see. Okay, brilliant. So here we are. Right. Okay, so the question that we have been getting the most when it comes to creativity or improv comedy or using improv to either aid, you know, yourself in your business or in life is, I'm not funny. I'm not a professional comedian. How can improv help me? Which is a great question. Now, before I started really studying improv comedy and went overseas to go and study improv at schools like the Second City and Upright Citizens Brigade and the Groundlings, Improv Olympic. So before I went to go and study improv comedy there, I really did think that improv was and comedy was only for comedians, and the benefit was only for comedians. And then I went in and I saw how they were applying improv comedy techniques to basically working with accessing your creative genius and being able to use these techniques to apply to business and to everyday lives. And while I was there, I was like, this is so genius. This is so incredible. I want to use this and bring this back to South Africa and use this in businesses in South Africa. Why doesn't it exist in South Africa? And that's what I did. And I started Jittery Citizens, and we were the first improv comedy company, first for Africa, that focused particularly on bringing improv comedy principles and improv comedy techniques into businesses and using it for business and life skills as well, I would say as well, because then we kind of went on and to work with individuals. During COVID, we did a lot of improv and comedy to curb anxiety. I've done a lot of pageant mentoring. So I have used these comedy techniques that I have spent the last 15 years developing in a range of different companies and in a range of different disciplines. So you don't need to be a professional comedian to do it. So that is a great question. Thank you very much to me for that one. Okay, isn't improv just for actors or extroverts? As I said, no, it's not just for actors, but I love this bit about extroverts, Andrew. Excellent question. So not at all, okay? I have gone into training and done training for companies. I mean, I think BDO, Nolan's, those are financial companies, Acceleration, which is tech. And, we've kind of worked on in those sorts of companies. I've worked for charities. We've kind of worked in those sorts of companies on how to use improv techniques to just take the individuals in the company from feeling blocked to feeling brilliant, from being able to, not stand up in a meeting and express their truth, or express their ideas, to being able to say, wait, my voice also matters, and I have the confidence to stand up and express who I am and express my ideas. So absolutely, this training is not only for extroverts. Thank you, Andrew. That is a brilliant question. Who is next? Hello, Sarah. Hello, B. Hello, Tana Golet. Hello. Hi, everybody. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, will I look silly? I am afraid of judgment. This is brilliant. Okay. Will I look silly? I'm afraid of judgment. So the beautiful thing about this framework that I've developed, which is called From Block to Brilliant, it has taken me maybe 14 years of my career, not just using improv comedy techniques, but using comedy techniques, whether it is from my stand-up career or from clowning or from improv. And I would say, when it comes to looking silly and being afraid what other people think, the best training to get over that is actually clowning. Because when you are standing in front of someone in a red nose, there is no, bigger, basically there's nothing more silly, than standing in front of someone in a red nose. And that red nose is the smallest nose in the smallest mask in the world. So it is a mask, which means in some ways it makes us more brave, because we're laughing at the red nose and we feel like we're not being laughed at. But it is such a powerful tool in finding your authenticity and finding your authentic voice, because it forces us to sit in the awkward. So if you are afraid of judgment, the best thing to probably do is to do clowning, which is a lot of what our work entails, is clowning, because it actually forces you to sit in the awkward and to revel in this feeling of, okay, I feel like I'm about to die. How am I going to get out of this? And actually climb your way out of the hole and start laughing, and eventually something funny happens, and that funny and that laughter actually breaks the tension, and that is the best and quickest, easiest, funnest way to sit in the awkward and actually break the tension of being afraid of what other people think of you, and breaking the tension, so getting rid of that judgment. So absolutely. Hi, Chelsea. Hello. Hi, Cobes. Hi. So I'm answering all your questions, guys, around creativity, creative block, what is holding you back. I'm on YouTube. I better actually plug in my computer. I'm on YouTube and I am on Instagram answering all of your questions. So keep them coming, guys. Ooh, this is good. This is good, Chelsea. Okay, brilliant. Okay. My work is serious. How does comedy fit in? Brilliant. My work is serious. Okay. I have had to, over the last 14 years, go into companies where people have said, my work is serious. How does comedy fit in? And what is so great about that is that I have worked in the banking sector. I've gone into law firms. I've gone into, as I said, people who are in technology and in accounting, right? And basically, what I've discovered is everybody, I don't care what industry you are in, needs to be creative in their job, needs to bring a human element to what they are doing, And humor allows us to discover that creative genius really quickly, and actually allows us to not be so serious about what we are doing, So humor is a brilliant way of like relieving the stress and being able to find innovative solutions to everyday problems, no matter how serious they are. So, brilliant question. Thank you. Okay, isn't improv chaotic? I prefer structure. Oh, good one, Alex. Um, so no, improv is, it may look chaotic, but the truth is once you've studied improv, you realize that it is really, it's based on a set of rules. We are playing within a set of parameters. So it is really structured. There's certain things in improv that you absolutely have to do, like say yes and, like listen, like be in the present moment. And there's certain things in improv which you cannot do, which is say no and block and halt creativity and destroy ideas. So that's an excellent question. It is very structured. So it may seem like it's chaotic because you don't understand the mechanisms and you don't understand the framework, but we teach the framework to say, this is a framework. It is very structured. Now you can play within that framework. Now you can play within the parameters. So the whole idea is about having fun within the structure. So improv isn't really chaotic, but great question. Okay. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Dana. Okay. David, I get stuck in ruts. How does improv help me break free? Ooh, love that. Excuse me. Okay, so improv helps us break free from getting stuck in a rut because we learn how to access our voice. We learn how to access our creative genius and how to break predictable patterns. And because we're able to break free from predictable patterns and we're able to access our authentic voice, we become really good at trusting our intuition. And when we're able to trust our intuition, we are able to make a decision, go with it, think really quickly, say yes, and that allows us to get out of a rut really, really quickly. So I hope that makes sense. It's basically about, listening to your intuition and going with it. And that's probably the quickest way to get out of a rut is to decide, take action, go, 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 which is all improv principles that teaches you to, trust your intuition and act on it. Kobe, hello. Keep saying Claudine, hello. Hi, Smitty. Okay, brilliant. Here's another great question. Okay, I'm afraid of bad ideas. Will improv make me share them? Yes. Okay, that's brilliant. I say yes because we do learn how to share. We learn how to open up. We learn that there is a power in sharing and opening up. I once did an exercise. I did a life coaching course, and in the life coaching course, we were forced to write down like some of our biggest traumas, and we had to share our traumas with the person sitting next to us, but we had to share our traumas in a really silly voice. Like share our traumas like this. And, it takes a lot for me to get embarrassed and for me to feel silly. But I was really feeling vulnerable and silly because I was sharing something that was so personal and close to me. And what started to happen is while we were sharing our traumas with each other, we were laughing because we sounded so ridiculous. And what that did was that made the sharing easier And it took all the weight out of this trauma, because after sharing those traumas and being really light about the trauma, we started going, okay, maybe this isn't so serious. So there is, and what we learned from that is there's a power in sharing, but there's also a power in not taking ourselves too seriously. So will you have to share your ideas with other people? Absolutely. Will you be afraid of sharing those ideas with other people, even if you consider them bad? Bad? No, because you'll start to get really brave, um, around sharing and around not taking your ideas too seriously. But most importantly, you have the support of the group. A lot of people think improv comedy is, look at me, I'm so amazing, look at how well, I'm the star of the show. Whereas improv comedy is not about that at all. It's about trust and support and being there for each other. So, what starts to happen is when you've got a group of people yes-anding your bad idea, it doesn't feel so bad anymore. You start to uh, get conviction in your ideas, in sharing your ideas. So um, you'll start to think of your ideas as not necessarily bad when you have the backing of the group. So that is the power of having the group behind you. That is the power of group mind. I overthink things. Can improv help me be more spontaneous? Ooh, love that, John. Yes. So I overthink things. Can improv help me be more spontaneous? Absolutely. So I don't know if any of you have seen a movie called Don't Think Twice. It is a movie about basically a cast of improvisers, and one person gets chosen for Saturday Night Live, and what that does to this really tight knit group of performers. And it's so powerful because the movie is called Don't Think Twice. Because in improv comedy, we learn to, as I was saying before, we learn to trust our gut. We learn to think at top of intelligence, right? And because we are operating at top of intelligence and trusting our gut, we often go with the first idea that comes to mind. And that first idea that comes to mind is where the genius is. So, because we are going with the first idea that comes to mind, it forces us to be present, to go, right, what's the idea that's at the top of my brain, that's at the top of my intelligence? Say that thing. We say that thing. And because we're all improvising together, and improv scenes and games are usually really quick, especially short form, we don't have time to overthink things. We don't have time to second guess ourselves. So what we do is we use a model which is called divergent thinking, and we take our ideas and we explode our ideas, and then only do we come back to them, and do we reevaluate and go, this idea wasn't so great, this idea works, let's expand on this, so it basically forces you not to go back, to decide, to commit, to say yes, not go back on our ideas. And by doing that, by making a decision to say yes to our ideas, it allows us to be spontaneous and not overthink things. So, absolutely, the answer is yes. I work alone. Can improv still benefit me? Yes, yes, totally. For the last 15 years, I have been working with one on one students. Um, I've been working with, uh, you know, uh, most fantastic, like double Emmy winning writer, on his work. I've been working with a creative. I've been working with an actress who is wanting to, uh, basically work on her performance skills. So I've been performance directing a lot one-on-one. I have been working with a charity director who actually wants to, come out of her shell and use comedy techniques to find her authentic genius and her authentic voice. So, improv absolutely works in a group, and there's a huge power to improvising in a group, but these techniques and tools can be used to one-on-one to actually get your authenticity out and your authentic voice out, which is exceptionally powerful. So it totally can be used either solo or in a group, and especially with the framework that I've created, the proprietary framework that I've created, it is for whether you want to do this in a group or whether you want to sit down and like bash it out by yourselves, you can do it. But obviously, there is a power in having other people hold us accountable, because we often, don't hold ourselves accountable. So that would be the only thing I would say around doing improv alone, is get a coach, get a mentor, get somebody who can hold you accountable, because you can read as many books as you want on improv comedy, on clowning, on comedy techniques and how to apply those comedy techniques to your life to make them awesome and incredible. And the truth is, if you are not willing to actually take action on whatever you're reading, it's not going to work. So yeah, get a coach, get a mentor. That's what I would say if you're doing this alone. Okay. Hi, Shiloh. Ooh, I love the name Shiloh. My son's name is Shiloh. Okay. Right. Do we have any more questions? Oh, this is good. Okay, brilliant. This is our last question for this session. Right. Can you give me examples of how improv has helped businesses? Absolutely, yes. So what businesses are we talking about exactly? I have worked with, so if you watch back earlier in this live, I was talking about working with the financial sector. I've done stuff for SA Tourism. I've done stuff for, big advertising agencies and creatives. And a lot of people would say, why do creatives need to learn creativity? And actually, so first of all, why do creatives need to learn creativity? Well, why does anyone need to learn creativity and how to access their creative genius? And the truth is because it is something that is inherent within all of us, okay? It is something that is, within all of us to do, but it is something that is actually drained, it is something that's we block. So from about the ages of like 1 to 7, we are, if you ever watch like kids play, kids are mindful when they play, and that is what improv is. Improv and comedy is mindfulness through play. So does it benefit businesses? Absolutely it does, because everybody needs to learn about standing their creative genius. Everybody needs to learn to how to get back to that mindfulness through play, how to get back to operating from their creative genius, from their prefrontal cortex, from the part of the brain that is mindful, that is in creative flow. We all have it in us, because we had it in us when we were, when we were born until about 7. And then our logical brain kicked in, and the self-sabotage center kicked in, and we started to lose that. We started to lose the connection with that part of the brain. So learning how to be creative again, or how to access our creative again, help creatives? Totally. That's why people who are already in creative fields, as I say, like advertising, like writing, like performance, like entertainment, that's why they come to me as well, to learn improv comedy techniques. But if you're not in that sort of business, if you're an entrepreneur or if you're in a fintech business or something else, learning how to access your creative genius and get back to that stage that we were in when we were from the ages of 0 to 7 is hugely beneficial. Hugely beneficial. It's basically, how do you take your creative genius and monetize whatever that is and share that with the world? So that's the importance of what we're doing here, whether you think of yourself as a creative or not. Brilliant. Guys, if there are no more questions around creativity, creative block, what is holding you back, I'm going to join you for another session tomorrow. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, John. Thank you, Tumi. You guys have been incredible. I will see you tomorrow on Instagram, on YouTube. Remember, stay hilarious, guys. Big love. Oh, brilliant. I haven't told everybody about our masterclass that we are holding. So if you have found any of these questions relevant to you, or if there's anything holding you back creatively, I would love you to join our masterclass, which is called From Block to Brilliant. And I will put the details for that masterclass in the description below. And we absolutely can, and get rid of all your creative blocks together. So I would love to see you guys there. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. Stay hilarious.